Today, so excitement dey everywhere for Bomadi as Governor Sheriff commissioned the 31 kilometers road wey connect 5 different local government areas for Delta State.
Delta government don approve 400 billion for the construction, rehabilitation and upgrading of roads.
Governor Sheriff dey try o.
Yes, so and other critical infrastructures across the state.
Governor Sheriff dey work well o. Why they call it tossing only roads and bridges they do?
You know dey inside the state. Na only roads and bridges Governor Sheriff dey do. You know they are aware of the schools when Governor Sheriff don't upgrade. I've been at the healthcare centers when he be say Governor Sheriff they upgrade across the 25 local governments.
Yes,
you know, say not be only roads and bridges Governor Sheriff they do. Oppositions go always talk. Governor Sheriff don't approve the construction of male and female hostels across 9 state-owned tertiary institutions.
And even the roads one at the top say Governor Sheriff they do. Hope you know say we can't have a working economy without good roads. How can businesses thrive without good roads? How can people locate healthcare centers without good roads? How can students go to their schools?
Governor Sheriff still dey do flood control measures because he won't create an enabling environment for Deltans.
Not forget say Governor Sheriff does still do empowerment programs where empower both youths and women. What about graduating students with first class? 1 million naira each, 5 million best graduating students.
You be sports person. You know they when Governor Sheriff reward Team Delta with cash prizes. Also donate buses to aid logistics.
Talking about sports, I dare myself say the renovation of Warri Township Stadium is 75% complete.
Governor Sheriff dey touch all areas.
Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
We have a governor who is managing the resources of the state very, very prudently. When we say that governance will not cease because we are in what you may call pre-election year, you could see that the governor is walking the talk. He's looking ahead by delivering projects that touches the life of the people. We are doing this supervision and tour of this project because the governor has made it clear that if you fall short of the provisions in the Bill of Engineering Measurement and Evaluation, we will blacklist you. And we are seeing much more quality work coming in. We're also seeing greater speed.
On the news tonight, Director General of the Renewed Hope Ambassadors calls for intensified mobilization towards re-election of President Bola Tinubu. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori directs all political appointees intending to contest in the forthcoming elections to resign their appointments on or before March 31. Wife of the state governor, Deaconess Tobore Oborevwori, charges APC women leaders to intensify mobilization for party at both national and state levels. Federal government plans to scrap junior secondary school common entrance examination. Abroad, United States President says Washington and Iran are engaged in talks aimed at ending ongoing hostilities. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on Delta Television News tonight. My name is Onome Iyaruwe. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Now, details of the news. The state governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori, has directed all political appointees intending to contest in the 2027 general elections to resign their appointments on or before the 31st of this month. The directive is contained in a statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Kingsley Emo, citing Section 88, Subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2026 and the timetable released by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for party primaries. The statement listed those affected as commissioners, advisors, directors general, executive assistants, senior special assistants, personal assistants, and all other political appointees seeking elective positions. It mandated the affected officials to comply strictly with the directive. The wife of the state government, founder Yumata Charity Foundation, Deaconess, intensify mobilization for the party at both the national and state levels. Deaconess Oborevwori gave the charge during an interactive session with women leaders during subsequent bulletins. The state governor, the governor of Imo State, sent South Strategic Communications and Mobilization Summit held at Government House, Asaba. The reports.
The summit themed One Party, One Message, One on strengthening political cohesion and grassroots engagement. He noted that Nigeria was undergoing significant reforms and urged Renewed Hope ambassadors to prioritize effective communication and community-level engagement. According to him, this would help citizens better understand the administration's policies and programs. The governor highlighted improvements in key macroeconomic indications, including DP growth, increased oil production, and enhanced revenue allocation, and called on Nigerians to sustain and deepen their support for the current administration at both federal and state levels.
The economy is being restructured. The foundations are being rebuilt. At the micro level, many Nigerians are still feeling the pain of adjustment. We must now do the easy work of communication.
In his remarks, the governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori, described the summit as a strategic platform for strengthening party structures and deepening mobilization across the South-South region. He stressed that unity was essential for political success, warning that disjointed messaging could weaken the party and benefit opposition groups.
This summit must therefore reinforce our commitment to teamwork, discipline, and loyalty to our shared ideals. At the same time, unity must be matched with substance.
The immediate past governor of Delta State and South-South coordinator of the Renewed Hope ambassadors, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, said the summit aimed to equip participants with tools to effectively communicate the administration's reform agenda. He noted that the Renewed Hope agenda was designed to tackle long-standing issues such as weak fiscal structures, unemployment, and low investor confidence.
Through the Renewed Hope initiative, there is nationwide scale-up for job creation, skills development, digital empowerment for our women and our youths. We are already transiting from the pains to the gains.
Chairman on the occasion and Southwest Coordinator of the Renewed Hope Ambassador, Mr. Adedayo Adedeye, described the South-South as Nigeria's economic backbone. He expressed confidence that the ruling party will secure victory in the 2027 general elections, adding that growing regional alignment reflected increasing acceptance of its policies and leadership. 8Pm Mon reporting.
The state government has assured residents of Ofagbe community in Isoko North local government area that concerns over the delayed Isoko Ring Road project in the area will receive prompt attention. The assurance followed a peaceful protest by the community to Government House, Asaba, over the prolonged delay and alleged poor execution of the 24-kilometer project in Ofagbe. The report.
The demonstration, led by the President General of the community, Mr. Cyril J.K., saw residents express frustration over what they described as the contractor's failure to deliver on the critical infrastructure, despite several interventions by the state government. He said the road project on completion will link communities such as Elu, Ovrode, Ofagbe, Ori Iri, Okpe Isoko, Uro Iri, and Ada Iri.
That the people he's using, they are incompetent. So we are praying and we are asking the government, please, on behalf of the community, to revoke that contract so that the new contractor come to site and do that work. Because the rains are fast coming. And once the rain comes down, we can no longer access the community.
Responding to the protest, the Chief of Staff, Government House Al-Saba, Honorable Johnson Erijo, commended the community for adopting a peaceful approach rather than resorting to self-help. Honorable Erijo acknowledged that the Deputy Governor, the Commissioner for Works, and the Governor had previously made commitments regarding the project. He assured the protesters that their concerns will be conveyed to the Governor. He further reiterated that the state government will look into the matter and take appropriate steps to address the situation.
Well, I am glad that you have said both the Deputy Governor, the Commissioner in charge of highways, and even His Excellency, the Governor, have made statements about this particular road. I will bring it to the attention of the Commission of the His Excellency, the protest here today.
8Pm Mon reporting.
The federal government has announced plans to scrap the junior secondary school common entrance examination and introduce a learner identification number to track pupils throughout their academic journey. Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, disclosed this in Lagos, explaining that the reform would replace the common entrance with continuous assessment to better monitor pupils' progress, while the new identification system would enable authorities to track students across schools and improve access to education nationwide. Dr. Alausa added that the initiative would also address the high number of pupils who failed to transition to secondary school or to secondary education. He revealed that the government was working to support the reform through expanded school infrastructure and improved education policies. Concerns are mounting over the rising cases of bullying in schools across Nigeria, with many Nigerians calling for urgent steps to address the situation. A cross-section of residents of the state capital who spoke on the issue highlighted the need for parents to be more open and approachable to their children, creating an environment where they can easily share their experiences. They spoke with Caroline Ubini.
The respondents stressed the importance of parents being closely involved in their children's life to quickly detect signs of emotional distress or other indications of negativity. They urged school owners and administrators to remain vigilant, ensure strict monitoring of students, and put in place effective measures to prevent and address violence in all its forms.
Bullying starts from home. There are situations you see some mothers. Maybe your child does something that is not too okay. Then you as a mother, instead of you to stop, or probably you ask the child, stop that. Then the next thing the child will do, he will start hitting the mother. And the mother will tolerate it. You see here, too much permissiveness is not good.
Continue like this. It's going to be something bad at the end. So it wasn't so. It was not so before now. That you will have a child, send him or her to school, and the parents are not at peace.
The people also emphasized the role of teachers in observing students' behavior and intervening promptly when cases of bullying arise. They called for the inclusion of guidance counselors in schools to provide necessary support to victims and help resolve conflicts among students.
I've had an experience of something like this. I lost my first son to assault from a school years back. So whenever I hear about bullying, I take it personal. For me, I think government should actually intervene in this matter with utmost priority. Because it's so absurd, like when you send your child to school, coming back with bruises and sometimes are dead. So I think government should bring special people to always go and foresee things going on in school.
We're begging for all these, whether president, governor, all the VC of the school, let them put eye. Let them put eye for our students, for our children. Because students, you prepare your pikin to go and learn, not to join court.
There were also calls for increased awareness campaigns to educate students on the dangers of bullying and the need for mutual respect and tolerance. Caroline Ubini reporting.
Citizens have continued to express concern over the recent increase in the pump price of petrol, which has jumped to 1,332 naira per litre nationwide, following an adjustment by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. Henry Unogwa spoke with residents of the state capital on the impact of the development on their daily lives. The report.
Majority of workers decried the sharp rise in petrol price, noting that it had triggered increases in transport fares, food prices and the overall cost of living. They appealed to government to urgently intervene and reduce the burden on citizens.
Has affected every Dick and Harry of Nigeria, every person in Nigeria, including me. How can we cope? We cannot cope with it. We are begging the government to reduce the pump price. The pump price of fuel is on the high side. It's affecting everybody, affecting the food which we buy, because with fuel,
the salary is constant and things are going up every day. Not only civil servant, and things are going up every day. The transport fuel and the house rent. So it's a problem. The government should really wake up and make sure that things are really done the way it should be done. In a situation, you give power to one particular person at the expense of others. This is the same thing that is happening in the cement industry, sugar industry, everything. You give power to one particular person.
Others pointed out that salaries had remained unchanged, while expenses continued to rise, citing increased transportation and feeding costs, as well as electricity, among other areas. They called on government to provide palliatives or review the current pricing system.
They transport themselves to the various markets.
The thing is really telling on us in Delta State. The way the price of fuel is going up, Even for me to go to work, I find it very difficult. I have to trek almost 500 naira from the money, because from my house to my office now, I'm spending 1,000 to go. Then come back 1,000. So it's not easy. The price have gone up. Tomatoes of 1,000 is about 3,000. So the thing is really turning on us. Please, I am pleading as a mother, as a single mother, please. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm pleading to the government.
Some respondents urged the government to encourage local refining and promote healthy competition in the sector to help bring down prices. They also called for stronger regulation to prevent exploitation of Nigerians.
There should be open market for everybody, because this thing is not for one person. Only Dangote cannot do it. They should allow people to come out.
The people appealed to marketers and other stakeholders not to take undue advantage of the situation, urging fairness and consideration in the interest of the public. Henry Onogwa reporting.
Christians have been charged to always exhort one another to strengthen their individual and collective faith. Evangelist Evaristus Okodili gave the charge in his message at the DBS Asaba weekly prayer meeting. Esther Oputa reports.
Evangelist Okodili, who spoke on the topic, "Hold on to the end," citing Hebrews chapter 3 verses 13 and 14, said God cared deeply about the well-being of believers and remained faithful through hardship and every challenge of life. He explained that behind every challenge was a real enemy, the devil, whose mission was to distract, discourage, and keep Christians away from God and from fellowship with Him. The clergyman encouraged believers to therefore strengthen one another and remain steadfast in the place of fellowship with God, holding firmly to their faith until the end.
Anybody living without Christ, those people, I am sure they don't know. Even if they don't know much. Because until God opens someone's eyes, my dear brother, my dear sister, that person is doomed. Anybody living in this present world, in this country, and the person does not know Christ, have no affinity with Christ, that person is gone, completely gone. No one was saying is, what is he talking about? But that's a reality.
The meeting featured praise sessions and intercessory prayers. Esther Oputa reporting.
You're watching the Delta Television main news. Still to come, United States President says Washington and Iran are engaged in talks aimed at ending ongoing hostilities. Details of this and other reports after this break.
Who is managing the resources of the state very, very prudently. When we say that governance will not cease because we are in what you may call pre-election year, you could see that the governor is walking the talk. He's looking ahead by delivering projects that touches the life of the people. We are doing this supervision and tour of this project because the governor has made it clear that if you fall short of the provisions in the Bill of Engineering Measurement and Evaluation, we will blacklist you. And we are seeing much more quality work coming in. We're also seeing greater speed.
You're welcome back to Delta Television Main News. And now from the foreign scene. The United States President Donald Trump has said the U.S. and Iran have held talks on the complete and total resolution of hostilities in the Middle East. He said that as a result of the talks, he has postponed threatened strikes on Iranian power plants for 5 days, making oil and gas prices to fall immediately. However, Iran's foreign ministry denies such talks have taken place, according to the BBC's U.S. partner, CBS. President Trump later said the U.S. side was represented by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. He said if the postponement of strikes goes well, they were going to end up with settling the war. On Saturday night, Trump had given Iran a 48-hour deadline to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Otherwise, the U.S. would obliterate Iranian power plants. President Trump's latest message is perhaps his most conciliatory since the war began, but it leaves significant unanswered questions. Earlier, the UK's Keir Starmer and Trump agreed that reopening the Strait of Hormuz was essential to resume global shipping during a call last night. The administration of Donald Trump has announced the deployment of U.S. immigration and customs enforcement agents to airports across the United States to support operations disrupted by the ongoing shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security. The move comes as travelers faced prolonged security delays caused by staffing shortages within the Transportation Security Administration, whose workers have been without pay since mid-February. Officials say the ICE agents would not directly screen passengers, but would assist with duties such as monitoring entry and exit points, allowing TSA personnel to focus on core screening responsibilities. The government said the decision was aimed at easing long queues at major airports, where absenteeism and resignations among unpaid TSA staff have significantly reduced manpower. Reuters, however, the move had drawn criticism from labor unions and political leaders. The American Federation of Government Employees argued that TSA workers deserved to be paid rather than replaced, warning that ICE agents lack the specialized training required for airport security. Meanwhile, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries described the deployment as inappropriate as lawmakers continue to push for reforms and funding measures to resolve the shutdown. And back home, Nigeria has secured military support from France in a collaboration that will provide military equipment and training to strengthen efforts at tackling insecurity across the country. President Bola Tinubu disclosed this in a meeting with state governors at his residence in Ikoyi, Lagos, while observing the Eid al-Fitr holidays after returning from his visit to the United Kingdom. He said the deployment followed a phone conversation with French President Mr. Emmanuel Macron, adding that his administration was exploring partnerships with other nations to boost Nigeria's defense capacity. The president described insecurity as a major challenge to national development, giving assurance that the federal government was investing in technology, logistics, and international cooperation to combat terrorism and restore peace nationwide. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has ramped up its regional footprint with the export of 12 cargoes of refined petroleum products, totaling 456,000 tons to 5 African countries, amid a growing fuel supply crisis triggered by geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. The cargoes, sold through international traders on a free on-board basis, were shipped to Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Tanzania, Ghana, and Togo, marking a significant milestone since the refinery attained its 650,000 barrels per day capacity in February 2026. A senior official of the refinery, who spoke on condition of anonymity, described the development as a reflection of growing confidence in Nigeria's refining capacity and a shift in Africa's fuel supply dynamics. At the backdrop of worsening power supply to offices and homes, electricity distribution companies, DISCOs, have recorded a combined loss of over 2 trillion naira over the past 2 years due to billing and collection inefficiencies, further worsening the liquidity crisis in the Nigerian electricity supply industry, NESI. Already burdened by an estimated 6 trillion naira sector-wide debt as of December 2025, Nigeria's power industry is edging closer to systemic failure, with several thermal power plants struggling to secure adequate gas supply to sustain generation. The situation has deteriorated amid persistent financial leakages at the distribution level, undermining the fragile gains recorded in generation and transmission. A middle-aged woman, Mrs. Angela Elujeko, an indigene of Umunede in Ika Northeast local government area, has made a passionate appeal to the public for urgent financial assistance to save her life as she battles chronic kidney disease. Mrs. Elujeko revealed that she was diagnosed with kidney disease that has severely damaged both kidneys, leaving her in critical condition and in urgent need of a transplant. Henry Usiayo reports.
Mrs. Elujeko revealed that she was diagnosed with kidney disease that has severely damaged both kidneys, leaving her in a critical condition and in urgent need of a transplant. She explained that she has visited several
specialists.
She added that she is currently undergoing regular dialysis at St. Luke Hospital, Asaba. While the treatment has helped sustain her, it is only temporary, as doctors have advised that a kidney transplant remains her only chance of survival. The transplant is scheduled to take place at Zenith Kidney Center in Abuja with an estimated cost of 50 million naira.
Doctors say that I have a kidney problem. Say they will use 15 million. Me and my children and my family, we don't have that amount of money. And that's kind of all we have. I want people to help me to solve this problem. If there's more one, give me. Who can give money, give me. Let I take solve this problem. Not let me die. Give my children.
In the same vein, her husband, Mr. Samuel Elujeko, said the family has exhausted all their savings on medical care and can no longer afford a life-saving procedure. The family is therefore appealing to state government, local government, organizations, philanthropists, and individuals for support, stressing that time is running out as her condition remains critical.
We want people to help us. The government and other persons who can help us should be of our aid, because financially we are down.
Donation details for Mrs. Angela Elujeko is as follows. Bank, United Bank of Africa, UBA. Account number 238-311-0237. Account name, Angela Elujeko. The family have expressed hope that public support will give Mrs. Elujeko a fighting chance to undergo the transplant and regain her health.
The death has been announced of Mr. Lucky D.G. Ajaga of Uweye Quarters and Erume of Uheri Quarters, both of Uzere Kingdom in Isoko South local government area of Delta State. He was aged 89. According to a statement by Mr. Jesse Ajaga JP for the children and Mr. Pius Ajaga for the family, a service of songs will hold on Wednesday, March 25 at 4 p.m. at his residence, number 8 Ekwogbe Street, Ughelli. On Friday, March 27, the body will depart Ufo Hospital, Ughelli at 7 a.m. to his residence for a brief stopover, after which it will proceed to the All Saints Cathedral, Ughelli, for a commendation service. A funeral service will hold at the St. Paul's Anglican Church, Uzere, at 11 a.m., while interment will follow immediately at his residence, London Bays, Uzere. Entertainment of guests and in-laws greetings will take place at the same venue by 1 p.m., while an outing and Thanksgiving service will hold on Sunday, March 29 at 8 a.m. at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Uzere. That's our news for tonight. Before we go, here is the thoughts. Every day is another chance to change your life. To end Delta Television main news, here are the highlights. The state governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, has directed all political appointees intending to contest in the 2027 general elections to resign their appointments on or before the 31st of this month. The directive is contained in a statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Kingsley Emo, citing Section 88, Subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2026. And the timetable released by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for party primaries. The wife of the state governor, Dickiness Tobore Oborewori, has charged women leaders of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in the state to intensify mobilization for the party at both national and state levels. Dickiness Oborewori gave the charge during an interactive session with women leaders drawn from the 25 local government areas of the state at Government House, Asaba. The federal government has announced plans to scrap the junior secondary school common entrance examination and introduce a learner identification number to track pupils throughout their academic journey. And from the foreign scene, we reported that the United States President, Mr. Donald Trump, has said the U.S. and Iran have held talks on the complete and total resolution of hostilities in the Middle East. So much for Delta Television main news. On behalf of the news editor and the production team, this is Onome Iyarowe, thanking you for watching. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Thank you for watching. Good night.